She was losing as much as 3 days of school per week last year, not doing anything with her friends because she was really so miserable.
He wasn't walking, wasn't making regular sounds.
Having trouble climbing stairs, having trouble walking in a normal fashion, having trouble getting up off the floor.
One of my biggest fear was that, my child isn't going to be able to live to his fullest extent.
Watching your child be sick is so difficult. You would so much rather have it be you.
I had great pain because my child was in pain and I couldn't do anything for them.
Your child's health, your primary concern. The diagnosis and management of a child's neurologic health can have a profound impact on quality of life. Intelligence, personality, and motor skills are all dependent upon the proper function of the brain and developing nervous system. For parents of children with neurologic conditions, the challenges can be daunting. Fortunately, there's hope. Hope in the mission of Child Neurology.
When we first saw our child neurologist, we could tell that he was a real specialist in the field. We felt like we'd finally arrived at the spot we needed to be at.
Our pediatrician had run out of ideas and was at the end of her knowledge base, and our neurologist knew right away when we came in and talked about what was happening. This is what's going on.
These are complex illnesses, and families have complex needs when a child has a developmental brain disorder. And we're the physicians who take care of these children.
Getting the diagnosis was crucial, because then we could move forward with our lives.
Being able to make that diagnosis early and step in and intervene at a time when a change can really be made is a tremendously important and valuable thing to be able to offer a patient and their family.
Combining advancements in clinical and scientific research with sophisticated imaging techniques has strengthened the ability of child neurologists to more readily diagnose and treat an ever-expanding spectrum of neurologic disorders.
The breadth of conditions that we see is really immense.
Pediatric headache, pediatric epilepsy, pediatric neuromuscular disease.
Children who have had strokes, children who have birth defects that affect the brain or the muscles or the nerves.
Disorders that involve thinking, cognitive functions, that involve motor function, that involve sensation.
Today, demand for the knowledge and intervention of child neurologists has never been greater. Child neurology combines the best of neuroscience, molecular biology, and genetics in the delivery of innovative and promising care.
Without the consult of the child neurologist, we really wouldn't have known where else to go, what to try next, what was working and what was not working.
In many disease processes, we can intervene, and we can intervene dramatically.
He was instrumental in helping us decide what therapies Jeremy needed.
He kind of helped us to put it all together and then to have approaches. The effect that you can have on their quality of life is enormous. And this goes for children who are otherwise normal developmentally and physically, as well as the children who are neurologically impaired.
Through the persistence of our neurologist and his dedication and expertise, we were able to find the right drug, and she had a much better quality of life.
He's now seizure-free, 2 years post-op. He's developing like a normal child.
Now he's running, he's talking.
She's happy again. She's able to get along in school again and do things she likes to do.
If we hadn't been able to see our child neurologist, I don't know where we'd be right now.
Ultimately, child neurologists not only treat children, they treat families. The blending of medical expertise and compassionate family care is the hallmark of child neurology.
The most important thing that we do is probably guidance for our families.
I knew there was a light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how long the tunnel was, and that they were going to be there with us to get us through that.
Our neurologists have been wonderful answering the questions, and then also respecting the knowledge that we have.
It's a combination of competency and compassion that has made all the difference in the world for us.
The child neurologist was setting us at ease and putting us in an environment where we could feel like we were going to be able to control the destiny of our child's care.
Having our child neurologist be so caring feels like we're not going through this alone.
With a unique and personal perspective, child neurologists are often called upon to be advocates for the children and families they serve. To some, they remain the critical voice for children who cannot speak for themselves, those who are voiceless.
It's an absolutely wonderful feeling to feel like your physician is an advocate for you, for your child.
These families struggle every single day, and if we partner with them and advocate with them, I think we really help them in tremendous ways.
Child neurology is an area in which advocacy is inseparable from the medicine.
Listening, paying attention to who she is, what she wants, and then assisting her to create that.
With the advent of the Child Neurology Foundation, parents and caregivers have joined forces at the local and national levels to address ways in which they can improve the lives of some very special children.
First of all, the foundation is an advocate for neurologically handicapped children.
The Child Neurology Foundation and some of the advocacy groups are coming in where government isn't and providing some of the funding that we need in order to improve quality of life for these children.
Advocacy also means being ready when you're needed to go to your legislator and say, this is an important area. Our children need this.
The CNF is a wonderful organization for not only child neurologists, but for families.
They've also taken a very strong role in supporting parental advocacy groups. They have a very effective website that helps parents link to the different advocacy groups that can be of help to them for their particular child's disorder.
We've really tried to work hard to get to know many of the different advocacy groups and to hear what they needed from us, what we needed to do for them, and how we could build on this relation.
By connecting parents and families with patient care groups focused on neurologic illness, the Child Neurology Foundation extends hope while serving as ambassadors of promise. This promise is no more evident than in the Foundation's research endeavors, where CNF-sponsored research today may usher in the significant medical breakthroughs of tomorrow.
The Child Neurology Foundation today is facilitating research, starting with students, going through young investigators, and going even through a cooperation with the Child Neurology Society to fund multi-centered studies. I mean, this stuff is so very, very important.
The Child Neurology Foundation's goals are to fund exciting new research and to create passion in young investigators.
So they really are providing critical seed money to help young investigators get projects started that can ultimately really impact on the care of children with neurologic disorders.
We really will have the opportunity, probably over the next 10 years, to have some very innovative therapies and maybe even cures for some of the disorders that we see commonly in child neurology.
We are going to understand the capabilities of science to reverse these conditions, to prevent these conditions, and to benefit the children that we are entrusted with.
A future bright with promise. Men and women whose spirit and optimism propel clinical and research advancements and bring hope to kids and parents alike. Your child's neurologic health is their primary concern and the foundation of this medical specialty.
They are, in my opinion, some of the most compassionate, committed, and dedicated healthcare professionals in the entire healthcare field.
I think child neurologists are made up of an incredible group of people that have dedicated their lives to helping not only the child but their families.
And they care about us in the way that I think it's really, really important to be cared for in a medical community.
To have found an answer and found people as kind and knowledgeable in pediatric neurology was really helpful for me.
Well, I think there's little doubt that the future of children with neurologic abnormalities is much brighter for the presence of child neurologists.
You can't hope for anything more than that, a future for your child.